Welcome to the Love Sessions. I'm Nori, and my amazing, beautiful co-host is Lily. Hi, Lil.
Hey Nori, how are you?
Yay! I'm good. I'm good. So, last last Love Sessions number 14, we pre-paved that this one was going to be awesome. It was just going to be amazing.
Yes.
So, I'm excited to see what comes. So,
Fabulous 15.
yeah, I like it. So, I've had a lot going on, and I've been thinking about boundaries.
Ooh.
And and there was a time when I would think about boundaries, and they gave me a knot in my gut. When I thought about boundaries, because it felt you know, like a baby gate blocking me from the cookie jar. Like that kind of
Oh,
boundary.
wow, what a great visual.
Yeah, yeah. So that I didn't like those kind of boundaries, but I've been thinking about boundaries because there's so many, moving pieces going on in the world and relationships, and boundaries are a good thing. Boundaries get a bad rap, I think. What do you think?
Oh, I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. And yet sometimes if that word is brought up, it can feel like it's a dirty word. Like, ooh, don't bring that up. Like that's
Right.
going to cause waves in the relationship and things like that. And it's not. It's a good word. It's a helpful word, I think, really.
It it is because boundaries are just like side um, signposts along the way saying, go this way, come this way, turn here. I mean, just loving signposts that we each get to put up that helps our friends and our loved ones and our significant others walk the path that leads to our best self. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes so much sense. And I love that you put it that way because yeah, boundaries, that conversation of boundaries can bring up all that, well, you're keeping me out, you're shutting me out, or you're keeping parts of me, parts of you hidden from me, when in actuality, it's like you said, it's like, no, they serve to help me show you the better parts of me, show you
Mm-hmm.
which ways to go so that the sparkly fun part of me and the open-hearted and loving and all the good stuff comes
Yeah.
out and is available to you rather than keeping
Ooh,
you
I like
out.
that. Right, right. So if I don't know, I mean, if I went to your house and I didn't call first,
Oh,
um, I mean, and I would never do that. Okay, so just let's be very clear
right,
about that. I
right.
never do that. But if I did, I mean, that would be a boundary. And it's not that I think that you should welcome me in. Um, I just know that I'm like imposing on your time, and you haven't scheduled time for me, and haven't had a minute to think about that I'm going to be here, and maybe you didn't have time to, pick up the magazines or, whatever it is.
Right. The house is a
Um,
mess. I'm a mess. I haven't showered. My hair is a mess. I was eating popcorn straight out of the bag in my bathrobe and like, what are you doing here?
I love that visual. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
if if you said, "Hey, call me before you come over," then you could be prepared the way that you want to be prepared to receive me, and then I get to experience you, unencumbered,
Yes.
because you're comfortable.
Exactly. And that's the whole point. It's not about me not loving you or not wanting you or rejecting you or not wanting to spend time with you or any of those things that sometimes people on the other side of a boundary might start to feel. It's actually letting me want to welcome you in a way that I feel like you deserve, like my house is clean, my teeth are brushed, my hair is pulled back. Maybe I have, some snacks put out for us because I want
Right.
to welcome you in and I want to share. I want you to feel comfortable and happy and welcomed and wanted and all of that rather than, what are you doing here? you know, and stop
Right.
looking at my popcorn that way. I'm not giving you any. Like, no. But yeah,
Your popcorn kernels in your
yeah,
book, right?
yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah,
That's so funny. That's
and
funny. And well, and boundaries, even in romantic relationships, I think boundaries aren't forever.
no,
Boundaries could just be little gates that take time, and take experience with each other and take building trust in order to go to the next gateway.
yes,
I'm
exactly.
envisioning that as like walking up a field, and you walk up to a hill, and you do the work to walk up the hill, then you open the gate.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, in my vision, there's flowers all around and stuff. Yeah. Sorry, I got lost
Absolutely.
there.
Yes.
But yeah, that's a beautiful way of explaining it. Like boundaries. There's this kind of thought that in order to have this close relationship, romantic or any, but you kind of have to be a complete open book to the other person. Like, here's everything. And it's not necessarily so, especially not all in one shot. So I love that like, it happens in steps. And it actually is part of building the foundation of any relationship. It's, tell me your boundaries so that I can know you better, so that I can
That's it
love
right
you
there.
better. Yeah. Because if sharing a boundary is, as you said, it's trusting. I have to trust you in order to be vulnerable enough to let you know these are my boundaries. This is where I feel safe right now.
Right.
And know that
Right.
you
And
will
that's,
be okay with that.
yeah. And we don't have to, like when we meet somebody new, like tell them our whole life story, by date 2. That's not, I think that's so unnecessary.
Absolutely.
I think, and the other person not requesting your whole life story before date 2, that's a boundary.
Yes.
Because I'm a let's let it unfold kind of person rather than, okay, let me sit down with the chronological checklist and tell you everything that my life has been. I don't do that. Let me see how I flow with you and let me see how the better parts of me, begin to open up in this area.
Yeah, that's exactly. And there's a lot of times where there's that push, like, tell me everything. How am I going to know you? I want to get to know you. I want to know everything about you. And it's like, well, in due time. And, what I want you to know, when I want you to know it, that's important. And that is so telling. That is more telling than opening up and telling you everything. Because if you...
That's the truth.
Yeah, because if you... Like, say, if you are revealing yourself to me bit by bit, then I get to see what's really important to you. What stories of your life are more important than the other ones,
Right.
And that really helps me fill in the picture of you.
Right. I love that. But then there's always the possibility that there's going to be an energetic mismatch there because, somebody who... at a certain choice point in life chooses to look at the positive things and let the heavier things go away. If you're presenting yourself that way, which is a natural way, it's your natural discretion, another person may feel like you're hiding something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to take some communication.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I've had that come at me a few times, and it with people that I felt like I was revealing so much of myself to them, but it almost felt like they didn't want to really get to know me. They just wanted my stories. and I'm
They
not
put
my
your
stories.
story. Yes. Yes, but
Right.
no, you
Yeah.
don't get the story. You got to have the person first.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's a great example of boundaries and looking at it a different way instead of like that feeling where, oh, well, having boundaries means that I have to protect myself, means that, I have to keep part of myself hidden, which puts us automatically on a defensive and looking at everybody else as like they're being offensive because they're infringing on us because, because they, I have to have these boundaries. I think if people start to look at setting their boundaries in place, because you have to know it's not about the relationship with someone else, it's the relationship with yourself, where your own boundaries are, right? Yeah, where your own boundaries are, and looking at that, and instead of looking at it like, oh, I need to protect myself from the world, or I need to have these boundaries so that I can deal with the world because it's too much. If you actually let yourself look at it like, when I set my boundaries, I actually bring the world closer to me and make it more accessible to me because I'm choosing what I want and what I don't want.
Yes. So you're choosing the most open aspects of you to share.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a light bulb moment. That's very cool.
It's not about protecting. Like you said, it's choosing how I share the better versions of myself. And when I get to do that, when you allow me to do that, then you know what? You're going to end up at some point sitting next to me on my couch in your bathrobe sharing the popcorn bag. But we'll get there,
exactly.
We'll get there.
Exactly. Exactly. And you said the magic words, though, the relationship with yourself, and it came flooding in that, one of the boundaries that I have is that after all of my stuff got contaminated with mold, I decided that anything that I brought into my house, I am going to love. If I don't love it, it doesn't come in. And that's my boundary, with furniture and with clothing, with everything. And it makes me really happy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a beautiful example of a boundary that I bet people don't think of it like, wait, that's a boundary? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm really clear, when I date or dated, I'm really clear, like, I'm not going to kiss you. I'm not going to hold your hand. I'm not going to be all warm and fuzzy with you until I really feel it.
Yeah.
And I'm very upfront about that because, who wants to kiss somebody that doesn't want to be kissed?
Unfortunately, a lot of people.
Oh.
But yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, right? Like, no.
Yeah, but trying to push somebody's boundaries open too soon is the same thing.
Yes.
Like you go to kiss them and they turn away.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. And it might not be that you don't like the person or that you're rejecting the person. They might see it that way because they don't understand the concept of boundaries. So it's great that you explain it, because that's what happens when you set up a boundary with someone that doesn't understand. They can feel like, well, you're rejecting me or you're hiding something from me, so they'll go away. No, that's not what it is. It's just, this is where I'm comfortable right now. And guess what? You're allowed to show me where you're comfortable.
Exactly.
Right?
It is about comfort. It's very much about comfort. That's a really good point. It's about comfort and discretion.
Yes. Oh, great word. Great word. Yeah. Yeah. It is. Boundaries in relationships, it helps us stay unique. And again, going back to bringing the best version of ourselves to the relationship, it keeps us from, blending into the other person and sort of just meshing and bleeding into each other. And you kind of lose track of, well, where do you end and where do I begin?
Yeah.
I've gotten completely lost here. So no, the reason that I have these boundaries is so that I can appreciate all of you and you can appreciate all of me without it getting all messy.
Yes. And you know, I like to respect other people's boundaries because that's my way of showing them that I care about them.
Yeah. Right? I mean,
When I went to visit people, they were like, "Here, put the dog stuff here," and I'm like, "You want me to put it on your counter? I don't want to invade your house." I'm very sensitive about where they are and where I begin. And I want them to know that that I honor and I respect their space, and their privacy and their life, and them. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's such a beautiful gift that we give each other.
Yes, it is. It is a beautiful gift. And so, looking at the whole concept of boundaries that way, just, I think, turns the whole thing on its head. And I hope that people can start to see it a little bit differently. It's an expression of love.
It is. That's so good.
Yeah. It is. It is, but at the, but yeah, like you were talking about the showing up at my door. How about FaceTiming? Right? Oh, it's a big thing now, but shoot me a text before. Like,
absolutely.
Just let me know. And because if you don't know what's going to be on the other end of that screen, and it's not that I don't want to talk to you, but
right,
I just might not be in a condition to, to do this. So if I don't answer the call, it's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's just, give me that space of knowing, like 5 minutes or, in an hour or something. And this way I can be comfortable and prepared to welcome you.
Yes. Yes. Be comfortable and prepared. Yes. I mean, anybody who's had an uncomfortable conversation, it's like pulling teeth, because the other person's not comfortable. And then it gets all muddy because you don't know what the heck is going on and why it's going that way. And it's just a matter of, if you would have given me 5 minutes to let me know that I was going to FaceTime, I wouldn't have, answered the phone in a towel, or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's that. It really is that simple and comfort. I love that word. It's, if we think of our home where we live, whether it's a house or an apartment or, whatever, they're the boundaries, right? The walls and the doors, that's the boundaries of our space where we're allowed to feel safe and comfortable. And it's the same way emotionally and mentally. And if I can feel safe and comfortable in my home, then I have a better chance of loving my neighborhood. And then loving my town and my city, like it goes out. But if I don't feel comfortable in my own home, then I'm not going to love anything else.
That's right. And that's why the love sessions bring love back to you, because it all starts there.
Exactly.
And
all goes
and
there.
when we love ourselves, it ripples out.
It does. And it's empowering.
Oh, it is empowering. I like boundaries. I'm seeing them completely different now. Like, not the baby gate. I'm seeing the gate in the field with the flowers and little hearts on them. Yeah.
Yes. I love that. Yeah. I'm going to go get the popcorn. I'll meet you there.
Okay.
All right,
I'll see you there.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, honey.